Hi friends, welcome to our channel. Hope all of you enjoyed our first video. Today we are discussing about part 2nd of chapter 1, sensation and responses. Come, let's start learning. Nervous system. As shown here, nervous system can be classified into two, that is central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system consists of brain and spinal cord, where peripheral nervous system consists of cranial nerves and spinal nerves. Brain. The central part of nervous system is brain, and the mode of protection of brain is as follows. It is protected inside the skull. Also, it is covered by three-layered membrane called meninges. Inside the meninges, a fluid is present. It is called cerebrospinal fluid. This fluid is formed from blood and is reabsorbed into blood. Now, let's talk about the functions of cerebrospinal fluid. It provides nourishment and oxygen to brain. Moreover, it regulates pressure inside the brain to protect from external injuries. This is the diagram showing different parts of brain. The yellow colored larger part is cerebrum, next one is cerebellum, next is thalamus, hypothalamus, medulla oblongata and spinal cord. Now we can discuss the different parts of brain in detail. First is cerebrum. It is the largest part. It is the center of thought, intelligence, memory and imagination. It controls all the voluntary movements. Outer grey-colored cortex and inner white-colored medulla are present. It evokes sensations. Many fissures and folds are present. This is to increase the surface area of cerebrum. The next part is cerebellum. It is the second largest part. It is seen as two flaps behind cerebrum. It controls muscular activities and maintains the equilibrium of body. Next part is thalamus. It is seen below cerebrum. It is the main relay station of impulse. It helps in impulse analysis and send important one to cerebrum. The next part is hypothalamus. It is seen just below the thalamus. It maintains hemostasis. The next part is medulla oblongata. It is a rod-shaped structure seen just below cerebrum and near to cerebellum. It controls all the involuntary actions like breathing, heart rate, etc. Next is spinal cord. It is the continuation of medulla oblongata. The mode of protection of spinal cord is as follows. It is protected inside the vertebral column. Like brain, it is also covered by meninges. The central canal of spinal cord is filled with cerebrospinal fluid. The white matter of spinal cord is seen outside and grey matter is seen in inner side of spinal cord. Now, let's take a look at how spinal nerves are formed. The dorsal root and ventral root of spinal cord join to form a spinal nerve. Total 31 pairs of spinal nerves are present. Sensory impulses reach the spinal cord through the dorsal root, while motor impulses go out of the spinal cord through ventral root. Now we have to go through the functions of spinal cord. Impulses from different parts of the body are transmitted to and from the brain through spinal cord. Spinal cord coordinates repeated movements while walking, running, etc. Next is reflex action. The accidental and involuntary responses towards a stimuli are called reflex action. The pathway of impulses in reflex action is called reflex arc. Here is a flowchart showing reflex arc. This is the diagram showing reflex arc. Here we can see the receptor, sensory neuron, interneuron, motor neuron, effector muscle. The main part in reflex arc is interneuron. Neuron that connects the sensory neuron and the motor neuron can be called as interneuron. This interneuron generates quick responses according to sensory impulses. Based on the controller organism, reflex arc can be classified into two: cerebral reflex and spinal reflex. As the name indicates, cerebral reflex is controlled by cerebrum and spinal reflex is controlled by spinal cord. Next is autonomous nervous system. It controls all the activities takes place beyond the conscious level. It is also can be divided into two: sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. Here is a table showing the action of sympathetic system and parasympathetic system in various organisms. First, let us discuss about the action of sympathetic system. That is, in pupil, it dilates, salivary gland decreases the production of saliva, trachea expands, heart rate increases, gastric activity slow down, glycogen is converted into glucose in liver, peristalsis slow down, urinary bladder regains normal size. The action of parasympathetic system is just opposite to that of sympathetic system. That is, pupil contracts, salivary gland increase the production of saliva, trachea contracts, normal beat of heart rate, gastric activity normal, glucose is converted into glycogen in liver, intestine also normal, urinary bladder contracts. Now let's have a look at the different diseases that affecting nervous system. The main disease that affecting nervous system is Alzheimer's. Causes: destroyal of neuron due to the accumulation of insoluble protein in neural tissue. Symptoms: loss of memory, inability to do routine works, inability to recognize persons. Next disease is the Parkinson's disease. Causes are ganglion destruction and low production of dopamine. Symptoms: loss of body balance, irregular muscle movement, shivering of the body, profuse salivation. The third disease we are discussing is epilepsy. Causes: continuous and irregular flow of electric charges in brain. Symptoms are frothy discharge from mouth, continuous muscular contraction and clenching of the teeth. With this subject, now we are finishing our first chapter. If you have any doubts regarding this chapter, you can comment on comment box or you can mail in the provided mail ID. Okay guys, thank you for watching and bye.